Hello and welcome. It's Focus Sunday, December 29th, 2024. I'm Maureen Frank, the Mandala Lady. And today I'll be pulling 3 cards to gain insight in how best to show up this week, December 30th through January 5th, 2025. Let's see which deck we're using. This one, this one, this one. This one. Okay, this one. All right. We're using the Earth deck. So this week is a little interesting in that we not only do we change months, we change years. So we're going from December to January and 2024 to 2025. So let's see if that makes a difference in which cards come out. The idea here is that 2 cards will give us insight into how best to focus our energies, and the 3rd card will be about how best to show up. So I'm calling in our teams of guides and angels with the intention of receiving whatever insight and guidance in our best interest to receive as it pertains to how best to show up this week, December 30th through January 6th. Okay, the focus this week is forgive. That's a heavy duty one to start out with, isn't it? So let me see what the exact message. It behooves us to forgive ourselves. So this is not about forgiving others, it's about forgiving ourselves. And what do we have to forgive? What could we possibly have to forgive ourselves about? Well, that's an excellent prompting question. So for those of you who journal, that's a great prompt. What is it within me that is wanting forgiveness? And the forgiveness is not so much that we've been bad. It's just that decisions we made throughout the years have and it's more about the decisions we've made about ourselves than about anybody else. So yes, okay, that the forgiving ourselves for taking on limiting beliefs and taking on fears that have kept us. To give you an example, I started back practicing piano again, and as I was practicing, I was getting really frustrated with always making mistakes. And no matter what I do, I'd slow down, speed up, didn't matter. I kept making mistakes, and I always do, and or up until now, I always have. Let's put it that way. Up until now, I always have. So I just kind of stopped for a moment. I said, "So where is that coming up from?" And then it dawned on me that years ago, gosh, I was about 20, 21 or whatever, and I happened to be going for my degree at Berklee College of Music in Boston for playing keyboards. And my dad supported me for the first 2 years, and the 3rd year, the final year, he said, unless I got a practical degree, because I was getting a degree in playing piano. And so he said, well, what are you going to do with that? I said, well, I'm going to play. And so, well, where would you play? Now you have to remember, this is the late mid 70s, 1970s. And I said, well, wherever there's an opportunity to play. And through that discussion came, you can't make a living, you have to be really good, you have to be famous or somebody. And it didn't dawn on me that what registered came up today was that I was not good enough to make that. Apparently my playing wasn't good enough to be able to make a living at it. And so I'm still kind of processing that. So the forgiving ourselves part is forgiving myself for buying into it. I know at that time I didn't know any better, and now I do. And so now I can forgive that part of myself that decided to believe that, and we'll see where that goes. Hopefully, sharing that story helped. Got me a little emotion. So again, this is nothing to do with anybody else. This has to do with, oh yeah, somebody may have said something, but we took it on as our belief of who we are, and so it seemed like that's a good way to start the year. Is, or maybe, yeah, if we can do it in the next 2 days before the new year starts. But anyway, this is for the whole week, is to look at forgiving ourselves and cutting ourselves some slack. And then, so for further uh, insight on that, we get the searching. All right, where are you? 37. What you seek is already within. So for looking at forgiving ourselves, and looking within to see what parts of ourselves are needing and wanting forgiveness. We don't have to look, it's letting us know we don't have to look outside ourselves, just look within, and just look at any behaviors that when we look back on it, we cringe and, oh, I wish that's not how I wanted to respond. And so that means that some part of us took over in that moment, and that's the part that is needing some healing and forgiveness. So, all right, so how best to show up? System. Interesting. System. Oh, well, I'm going to look it up, but I want to share first what kind of came to mind with system is, okay, as we do this process, and this is going to be a challenge, do it without judgment, do it without self-deprecation, do this process as if a scientist. Oh, I like that. Do it like a scientist. Oh, or Indiana Jones searching for whatever he searches for, artifacts, because these are artifacts. That which we are wanting to forgive ourselves are old things. Even if you're 20 years old, it's still old. If you were, it's still, chances are it's from your childhood. But take a systematic approach to it, so that which means it's not that you can't have an emotion about it. It's doing it kind of like a scientist would do. Is just take a systematic approach and to look. So like using my piano thing is, oh, so by me stopping today to really tune in and searching, where did this come from? And it doesn't matter if we can't figure out exactly where it came from. If we can just get a sense of what it is, that somewhere along the line something must have been said that I didn't think I'd be good enough. So if I'm not good enough, then I must always make mistakes playing the piano. But doing the systematic approach of just tapping in and seeing where that's coming from, and then loving it and forgiving it and loving it and healing it and loving it. But let me see exactly what this create systems that support you. Yeah, so do it in a way that is uplifting and supportive. And it may be that a way to approach is in a playful way. Maybe you like to collage, or maybe you want to draw, or maybe if you play a piano, maybe write a song about it or process it, whatever your systematic approach. But that's show up looking at this from a systematic approach as to what within us is wanting and needing forgiveness. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. So a fabulous way to transition from this year to the next year, to 2025. Okay, anything else you want me to add to that? Okay, All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this helpful. And until next time, do take care. Bye bye.